All right, so good evening, everyone. We want to welcome back everybody who's been with us before and extend a welcome to anybody who is new. It's been a while since we've had a meeting. We took the summer off, and we are excited to get back together again. I want to introduce my co-presenters. We're going to have one of those days where the tech is not going to work. I'm going to leave this little doohickey up as people come in for a little bit. So I'm Michelle Beckemeyer. I'm a steering committee member. Can you guys read it? I see some people peering.
Look like a Smurf.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
I'm Phyllis Kelly, and can you see me?
Yes, yeah.
You can see me. Okay. Well, then I guess that's out. I was going to finish my sandwich, but I can't figure out how to blank myself out.
All right, we'll put you on mute as we get going. So,
Yeah.
My co-presenters tonight are Jerry Kern, our legislative chair. Jerry, say hi, and Michelle Miller, our membership and rally chair. So, as I said, this is a hybrid meeting. We are trying it out for the first time. We are having you guys in the room, and we have about 30 people who signed up to be on Zoom as well. So we are recording this meeting. So we asked for your patience and your grace as we tried to work out the technology, and hopefully everything will work out okay. That's why we have the little box up there to make sure we stay in the camera and so everybody can see us. All right. I don't know why my little thing is not working, but that just seems to happen with me. All right. For those of you who are new to Indivisible, do I have anybody who's new to Indivisible in the room? Oh, okay. So quite a lot of you. Thank you. Thanks for joining. We're going to give you like a 5-minute overview on what Indivisible is. But then I was trying to play the video. Our membership chair, Michelle, put together this wonderful video, and it's on our website. And I highly recommend you go watch it. It explains Indivisible in more depth, and it explains Indivisible Barrington in more details. But the really high level details of Indivisible is it started in 2016 with two individuals, Ezra and Leah. They were congressional staffers in the Obama administration, and they saw how the Tea Party operated under Obama and how they were, very obstructionist, shall we say, and they saw how they were using those techniques against Obama. And when Trump was elected in 2016, they saw the Democrats just go, and they didn't do anything. So they wrote this manual, this practical guide to democracy, and they put everything they knew about those techniques into this manual, and then they kind of left it. And what happened was people grabbed it, and then they formed these groups, these indivisible groups, and it took off in 2016, 17, 18, and so forth. And these groups started all over the country. And
I'm in a meeting. Please close the door, will you?
So anyways, the groups grew and grew and grew. And then they kind of petered off, after Biden won and everything. But of course, in 2024, same thing happened again. Democrats kind of went, what are we going to do? They said, no way. They rewrote the manual and came up with this fantastic manual, and more groups started to form. And now what we have are all of these groups. I don't know if you can see this with my stuff in the way. We are not alone. There are 2,600 chapters of Indivisibles across the country. At the beginning of the year, they were growing at a rate of 10 per day. Now they've slowed down. They're still growing at a rate of 5 per day. It's just amazing. People are there. If you think that you are living through this alone, you're not. People are not happy and people are resisting and they're joining Indivisible. How did I get the group started? I had some very lovely neighbors that are sitting over here. How do you? You get a group together and you decide that you want to form a group. There are no restrictions. You just can do it.
I'm gonna help.
Thank you. Oh, but you have to go here
That's fine.
and stay out of the camera.
I will.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm trying to
Alex,
look at
everybody
something.
wants
Just
to
a minute,
see
okay.
The thing with the Indivisible is all of these groups
Okay, here.
are autonomous. They can
No,
do.
you can't. No.
But it's been 2 days.
Okay.
Mom, but it's been 2 days.
All of the groups can work autonomously, but they're encouraged to coordinate. Indivisible National has been very helpful. They've offered technology and grants and all kinds of other training and support. But they let us choose our priorities and the things that we want to work on. So it's been very helpful being with the Indivisible group. All right. So with that,
I think I muted them all. I can't see this close.
yeah.
Did I do it?
All right. Michelle, you're up.
Oh, my goodness. How many of you feel like it's been a rough couple of weeks? Yeah. So if you are on our Zoom meeting, you can raise your hand if you feel like it's been a rough couple of weeks. How many of you feel like it's been a rough? It feels like it's been more than a year, right? And it's only been a couple of months. So how are you feeling? We want to figure out how you're feeling. So really quick, how are you feeling? I just need 1 or 2 people. How are you feeling?
If you're pregnant.
A lot of misinformation is out there, correct? And we want to stop that. How else are you feeling? Go ahead.
Feeling exhausted.
Exhausted.
Tired and yet more determined than ever.
Yeah.
And just full of fight and resistance and even more than that, we're full of, I think, ready to ridicule and to do whatever.
Yeah. How many of us are ready to resist? That's great. Okay. So let's do a little exercise here. Everybody needs to keep in your seats. And if you're on Zoom, you can stay in your seat as well.
Yeah.
But we're going to do, we're going to go to the next slide, which is coming up. So we're going to put up some activities. And if you've done any of these activities, we want you to stand up. Or if you're on Zoom, we want you to raise your hand. So, okay, are we ready, Michelle?
Yep,
You're going to hit the next one for me?
I am. Just 1 second. No. Yep.
So he's Jewish and he has a house in Punta Gorda. Yesterday, he found out that his synagogue, there was arson and they put jade, like for Jewish.
Charlie first people.
No. So he's really distressed over it.
We're so sorry to hear that. And that's part of the issue, right? But we can stand up. So, but don't stand up yet until we get into the activity that you've done. So, and if you're in chat, or on Zoom, raise your hand. Okay, tell me, postcards. Stand up if you've done postcards. Wow, look at how many people have done postcards. Who's been to a rally? You got to keep standing here. If you've been to a rally, or raise your hand.
Yes, I know.
If you've been to a parade. Yeah, okay, keep standing. Go to the next one. Who's done phone bank? Keep standing, you gotta keep
Everybody,
standing.
you keep standing.
If you've done one thing, we want, okay, if you've gone to a school board meeting. Okay, keep standing, don't sit, you can't sit. Once you're standing, you're stood. Okay,
do that, so I thought.
who's been to a brigade meeting?
No,
you have to
keep standing.
Keep standing, you gotta keep standing. Okay, who's been to an ICE raid response meeting? Okay, who's been to Signs for Solidarity? Okay, and who's signed a petition? And who's been to an Indivisible meeting? Everybody. Okay, look at this. We're all standing. We've all raised our hands on Zoom. Now you can sit because, you know. So we thank you because we know you feel like your voice doesn't matter, but look at what we're doing. Every single one of us has done something, even if it's come to a meeting. So we appreciate that. Okay, Michelle, now it's back to you.
Okay, thank you, Michelle.
Do you need me to kind of figure out how to do this? for
Yeah,
people?
well, we'll see.
Okay.
Let me see, every time this thing comes back. Okay. Oh, we're so high tech here. Oh, I think it's this thing that's getting in my way. Preventing my things from hide the fluting controls. There we go. All right, our agenda for this evening, we're going to talk very quickly about some new opportunities. We're going to have a very brief lesson in the Truth Brigade. We're going to give you a brief update on our Indivisible Barrington and, oops, out of the view. Then we're going to have a wonderful speaker, John, who's a farmer from McHenry, and he's going to talk about, what are you going to share with us, John?
Trump administration's agricultural policy and how it affects you.
Sounds very interesting. Thank you for joining us on short notice. We really appreciate that. And then we'll have any open discussion if you guys want to ask us any questions. We'll talk about calls to action, and then we'll have our committee fair where you can talk to the committee chairs if you want to learn more about what they're doing. So let's start. Michelle, back to you.
Hi, we have lots and lots of new opportunities here. Keep going, Michelle, just put up.
Okay.
So one of the cool things that's happening, and we're going to talk to you just a little bit about it, is called our 1 Million Rising Meetings. We have our first one tomorrow night. I do want to bring to your attention this little handout we've given you. And of course, if you're online, you should have all of the QR codes and everything. So 1 Million Rising is a small group gathering. It's done at some,
Sheila, have you been able to drop that in the chat? Okay.
So 1 Million Rising is a small group meeting where we talk about ways to resist. And we're looking to invite new people so we can grow and grow. So once you've been to a 1 Million Rising meeting, we want you to host your own and then discuss some non-strategic compliance ideas. So how many of you boycotted Tesla? I can't afford it, but I'm boycotting. Like, figurative. Or how many of you have boycotted Target? Okay, those things make a difference. And you don't think it works? What's happening to Target sales year over year? Plummeting. So they listen to us, and we'll talk about a little bit more of those ideas. Okay, Michelle. So in our 1 Million Rising meetings, we talk about our institution and the pillars that kind of hold them up and how we can be non-compliant. And when we're non-compliant, we're resisting what's happening, and that will help us get to the point where people change their mind. What happened with Jimmy Kimmel today? He's back on.
Yeah.
They listened to us. They listened to us. They knew it was wrong. They listened to us. So we want to make sure that we're doing things such as boycotts. We're visible. We are challenging people at school board meetings when they come and tell us that a teacher has put something on social media that somebody doesn't like. Okay, we're gonna challenge that. We're gonna be there. So these are the things that we can do. We can even become allies to people who need somebody to make them feel safe going into church. Simple things like that mean a lot, and that's what part of our non-compliance meetings are about. You'll see more tomorrow night. How many of you have signed up to come? You're gonna have a great time tomorrow night. We really want you to come.
Everyone can still
It's,
sign up.
yeah, you can still sign up. We want to see you if you need more information about it.
Yeah.
Snap on the QR code. Okay.
It is at the Barrington Library, so be careful as you approach the Barrington Library.
Yeah,
The road is closed. You can only approach it from Lake Creek Road,
right.
and I will send a message. In the
What time?
It's 7 p.m.
So hopefully the traffic will be a little slower at that time, so it'll be a little easier to get in and out. Okay, Michelle, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Oh, look, it worked. Yay.
Yay.
Our next new opportunity is Signs for Solidarity. And we have done this in partnership with the Barrington Area Democrats. And we have canvassed local businesses in Barrington, and one of our very own, Deb, where are you, Deb? She went out and canvassed herself, right? By yourself. And which is amazing. And the idea behind this is we canvass local businesses and ask if they will put up this lovely, which now it has my face in the middle of it. Yeah, yeah, this lovely sticker or sign, thank you, sign that says immigrants are welcome here. The Barrington Dems, I think it was Mary, if you could wave. Mary and Lindsay put together this wonderful rapid response package. Of course, it's not working now. That came from Indivisible. Yes, and then this particular one, Lindsay kind of, she took it and then added paid for by Indivisible and Barrington Area Dems. But the original ones came from Indivisible. But Mary and Lindsay developed a rapid response package that we dropped off with the businesses. It includes all kinds of numbers, all kinds of what to do if ICE comes to them, how to react, and another sign that they can put on a room for employees only. So when we went into Barrington, we hit about 15 or 20 businesses, and primarily the response was good. And Deb, how was your response in Lake Zurich?
At least 75%.
Positive, yeah. So this is something we would like to do more of. We have canvassing toolkits that gives you scripts and how to address with people if they're not friendly, what to say if they are friendly. So if anybody's interested in leading a group and going out, we have the material. If you want to be a team leader, let me know. I can put up the information on Mobilize. We can get a group together. Again, I'd like to do more of it. So let me know if you're interested. All right, Sue, are you ready for? Well, we're gonna, it's the big button in the middle. Okay, if it doesn't work, we're gonna have to just come up here and hit
An arrow.
hit the arrow right here.
Okay, if I can see it.
Mhm.
Okay. So I see a lot of, oh, now am I in it? Okay. All right, so we already talked about how all of us are feeling. And some of the things that I'm going to be talking about as quickly as possible is common ground between us. I know we're all feeling distraught, fearful, angry, frustrated. We want to find something that we can do. And luckily we have Indivisible to help us. I'm hoping that some of the strategies that I'm going to talk to you about are things that you can personally do. It's sort of the other end. We have the institutions that we're going to be talking about tomorrow night. here's something that's just a small little piece of what you can do personally. So I'm going to tell you about what Truth Brigade is, the difference between disinformation and misinformation, and that finding common ground. Oh, you have the Truth Brigade. Where did it go? Does it go back? No. You're moving ahead. Okay,
So
how do I go back?
Use the back arrow, yep.
Okay. So you have the QR code already, so you don't need to get that for Truth Brigade. It is a segment of Indivisible. I found it just by nosing around, and I'm a retired speech language pathologist, so I'm really interested in communication, and this kind of really piqued my interest. So as I said, it's something people like you and me, we're going to communicate person to person, online, offline, social media, conversations. And the goal is to disrupt all the misinformation and disinformation that we see. I don't know, we're going to do all of it, but person by person. When we haven't quite gotten to the level of using social media for it yet, but that would amplify. And that's where I'm hoping the more people get interested, the more we can use that strategy as well. But one thing that I want you to take away from today is to stop all interaction with disinformation. We want to be keyboard warriors, right? You're wrong. We want to fight. We want to, but every time you do that, you are feeding the algorithm. So just go somewhere else and don't even try to respond with a positive response. Go somewhere else, find something positive and share that. We want to share messages that encourage critical thinking, things that encourage people to look at sources. We don't want to encourage argument. We want to be the truthful warriors, truthful keyboard warriors. So here's some of the segments of it. Truth Brigade has wonderful trainings, workshops, webinars, toolkits. They even provide graphics that fit specifically on all the different areas, types of social media for us. So I really want to get that going, because if we all start doing that and then we share that everywhere, we're amplifying it. And that's the next step. Truth Brigade also provides a monthly detailed counter messaging, a whole packet of information on different topics. There's been medical disinformation. This month was climate change disinformation. And the goal is prioritizing relationships. We want to develop relationships so we can have successful communication and shift minds for more critical thinking. Disinformation, misinformation. If it makes you angry, it's probably disinformation, right? It's coming from someplace. So I don't know if you can see it, but there's factcheck.org, PolitiFact, Snopes, and then any other reliable news source that you know of that you can go to find the facts. Again, don't click on it. If it makes you angry, go away. The difference between disinformation and misinformation. The disinformation is typically started by, I've seen the number like 200 people who are purposely trying to spread information for their own political gain or their own profit. And luckily it says only about 15% of bad info is deliberately spread. So think of just in the last week, I know some things that our dear leaders have shared that's incorrect, disinformation. But people unknowingly go, oh, this will get those libs. I'm going to share this. Or, things like it fits their ideology. So share. And it's amplified. So don't respond to it. But those people who are sharing that misinformation are the people we want to target. They're our audience. They're the people that don't know. We want to encourage critical thinking. They don't know that they are sharing false information. And most of us value truth, right? And if there's some way we can open their mind and think about where the sources come from or who benefits from those things, then we can, you know, start opening minds to think a little bit more critically. Just some quick things. How do you know it's a lie? Oftentimes the headline doesn't match the content. There's very few resources, no credible resources, and no variety of sources. If it's some big sky is falling thing, you know, something that just is, you know, it's all caps, which we see all the time. Again, who benefits? And then we have to look out for AI, right? We have to make sure that what we're looking at and what we're sharing isn't AI. Okay. This one or this one?
Did you get it?
Okay, there we go. So we're going to talk about finding common ground. I think we missed one, but that's okay. Like I said, finding common ground will help lower the defenses in the person that we're talking to. If we don't have any common ground, they're going to get angry, they're going to get upset. If we're coming at them with facts, you know, well, I heard this and I heard this, where does that lead to? You leave and there's no critical thinking going on. It can be very difficult. We've had about 3 Truth Brigade meetings, and it can be fun and funny as we're trying to fight misinformation, but it's very difficult. What we want to do is try to find the values behind the misinformation. And we want to lead with, we don't want to lead with facts. We want to listen, active listening. I don't know if you've ever heard that term. We don't want to have them get entrenched in their anger, entrenched in their ideas. We want to, again, critical thinking is the goal. This is the whole model for the Truth Brigade to be used in person to person, social media, letters to the editor. If anybody's interested in that, that's a whole other component. Tonight, we're just going to be trying to do some finding of common ground. But there is the part to disrupt, and there is the part to dream and try to come together on what some future action for the both of you that you're having this conversation with. Will this work?
This corner.
Am I moving out of the camera? Is that why you're touching it?
No, I was just trying to get that out of your way. There you go.
Okay, here's some examples of misinformation. So you may hear someone say to you, you're sitting around the table. Oh, I missed the slide about it's not, you need to be very careful about who you engage in this with. If the misinformation is something that you get very emotional about, or someone that triggers you, you're probably, you can try, but you're probably not going to be able to be objective and find common ground. So just remember that. That may not, you have to be particular about who you're going to engage with. If you're around the table with people that maybe you do agree on some things, but there's this one thing that you just can't agree on, that one thing might be like, I know I can have effective conversations with this person. I'm going to try this. So here's someone saying, I love seeing all the government waste getting cut. That means less taxes for me. So we can find their underlying fear or their values behind that. Or we can surmise that maybe they're worried about their financial situation, right? So, wow, I hear you. My family is really worried about our financial situation too. There's common ground, taking a step back, not, I know what I want to say, but I'm not going to say it. I'm going to try to start a conversation. Okay. What was the other thing I wanted to say about? Oh, I want common ground needs to be personal to you. I'm just giving you examples. It needs to be authentic. You know how people can tell if you're just spouting off something that, you know, it needs to be authentic. So if you have another commonality that you find with that person, then do that. Will this work? No. And the thing, oh, there it is. I found it. Okay, here's another one. Glad they deported all those illegal. I didn't change it, Michelle. She said, leave it in there. PowerPoint kept prompting me to remove that because it could offend some people. Which I agree. Illegal immigrants. So we all want safe. Oh, the values behind that, fear of outsiders. We know people that are like that. Losing social status. I have family members. Values, they value fairness, safety, security, stability. I don't know if these are them, but if you feel like you could connect with this person on this, it might be a good thing to try to connect. You know, if it's safety, we all want safe communities. You can read all those, but if there's social status, it might be an immigration thing. We all want good jobs, security. We all feel safe. We all want to feel safe. So I'm going to throw you guys into this right now and see if you can come up with any common ground statements for these examples of misinformation. Mail-in ballots cause massive voter fraud. Does anybody have something that we could?
And then if you're online and you want to participate, you can type in your response in the chat.
So what would be the value? Oh, go ahead.
You could say, voting is so important in our country and we have to make sure that all the votes count.
Mm-hmm. And the value might be fairness, honesty. Yeah. Anybody?
Repeat the answer so they can come to the meeting.
Oh, say it again.
Voting is so important to all of us, to our elections, and we have to make sure that it's done right.
Voting is all very important to all of us, and we need to make sure that it's done right. Anybody else have one for that? Go ahead.
Everyone wants free and fair elections.
Yeah, you would think so, right?
Do you want
Yeah.
to repeat that?
Everyone wants free and fair elections.
Did we get
Okay.
anything on chat?
Do not.
Okay, so we haven't gotten any answers on chat.
How about the next one on teachers' unions? You guys are doing good. Meetings we've had were like, we just want to throw those facts out there.
All teachers care about educating their students to the best of their ability with the means to do it, with classrooms that have books and classrooms that have technology.
All teachers care about having everything they need to teach to the best of their ability and have everything that they need.
The support.
Right, the support, yes.
Education is important.
Education is important, right? We can agree that educating our children would be important to all of us. Something like that.
And that is seconded on chat.
Okay.
We all want our children to get the best education.
Perfect, perfect.
That one?
Oh, I thought you would hear it. Okay, because you were doing the thing. We all want our children to get the best education that they can. Okay. Did we do both of them or did I? Both examples? Okay. So the goals for the Future for Truth Brigade, I'd love to see as many people as they want. Like I said, this was just a snippet. This is just finding common ground. There's more to learn. There's more to practice, more to do. You guys did great tonight. But we want to also learn how to disrupt it. There's other stages to that sandwich. Plus, like I said, if we can get this going on social media, maybe a public Indivisible page where we can just, anytime something comes up, even locally, boom, we're going to put a positive statement up there and we can all go in there and like it and share it and amplify it. And the same thing, there are some people that are interested in doing letters to the editor. So I'll be here afterwards if anybody wants to talk to me. The next meeting is next Tuesday at 7 PM at the library again. Okay, thank you. Mhm.
I'll tell you, it's a good point. The more you can get people to send out on social media, you build bigger ink bill. And I saw a quote from Mark Twain said, "Never pick a fight with people who buy ink by the barrel."
Good idea. Yeah, and we want to have our own barrels and our own ink and put the positive messages out there that can somehow refute all of this negative. And remember, this is going on nationally. All that Truth Brigade has is a national movement. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Mhm.
All right, Jerry, you ready? Let's see. Okay,
All right.
let's see if it will work for you. The big
Okay.
one should advance.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jerry Kern. I'm chairing the Legislative Committee. And could I have a show of hands again of people, of those of you who are new?
Reserved, right?
Who all is new? This is the first meeting. Okay, good. I'm pretty new too. I joined in June. In fact, the town hall in June was the first time I had been here. So I'm probably a lot like you. We've talked tonight about how it's very discouraging to listen to watch the news or read the newspapers. I got to the point where I could hardly do it, right? It just was a flood of bad news. And, you know, over the years, I've voted, always voted. I've supported good candidates. I've given money. I've even done a little canvassing. But I realized that that was not enough in the face of what we're seeing today. So I reached out and found Indivisible Barrington and got busy. And I think it's a great thing in that Indivisible Barrington is doing a lot to make the country that we want to live in. And the other thing is it's very uplifting to work shoulder to shoulder with other people who share these values and concerns and want the country to be better too. It gets you out of the doom scrolling and into the actions that will make a difference. So, and in fact, since June, we've been very busy here, and I want to take a moment to sort of click through some of the things that we've done. So we've gone out and we've rallied and demonstrated for our beliefs and values. We marched in the Barrington 4th of July parade. That was our first sort of public, that was our debut. And we marched down the streets and we got very positive response, lots of applause and thumbs up. It was very encouraging. There are a lot of neighbors out there that are thinking the same way. In July 17th, we made some good trouble on behalf of civil rights. We marched through Barrington and also honored John Lewis, our great civil rights leader. We joined with our friends, the Barrington Democratic Organization, and in August to rage against the regime and all the things that Trump is doing that we dislike. And on Labor Day, we gathered to support workers over billionaires, and that was an uplifting event as well. And we have more plans. So it's demonstrations then in and of themselves won't change the world, but it's important to show everyone what you stand for. It's a key part of the program. So we've also done many other things. We had poster parties where we made posters for these demonstrations. We also had 5 postcard sessions where we wrote postcards, 1,000 of them, and sent them to key swing districts in Pennsylvania and Virginia. As Sue Tracy talked about, we launched the Truth Brigade, which is fighting the the lies and disinformation as she discussed. We had a button making party as well. And, to also get out the word. We trained marshals for demonstrations and we're continuing to do that. We even decided to blow off some steam at the Kelsey Roadhouse and celebrate and get our minds off of the bad news. Michelle talked about the solidarity effort to, immigrants are being vilified and they're being hounded by ICE. And so we're getting behind fairness there. And all along, we've also raised money, collected food items, backpacks, school supplies that have been donated to food banks and other places that help people at Barrington Township, Cuba Township, and then tonight we're collecting for Exodus World Service. So we're backing up the actions with deeds as well. So all this would not happen if it were not for people like you that had joined in. And so I want to give a big thank you to if you've chaired a committee or you've helped organize an event or you've participated, you've made a huge difference. And we appreciate that and we see you and thank you and you're part of the solution. And I think earlier, Michelle mentioned, I think that, we have political leaders that are at best ineffectual right now. Democrats are on the national level are trying, but they're in the minority. There's not a lot they can do. The leaders of our businesses and media companies and other institutions have failed. They are craven in the way that they've caved. And I fear that we're going to see more of that. So if change is going to happen, it's going to come here at the grassroots level by people like us that decide that this is not acceptable and we're going to do something about it. And it starts small and it builds from there. This was a long time coming and it will be a long time going, but it starts today by the actions that you take. So thanks for joining. Get involved like I did, and you'll find that it is a rewarding thing. So, Michelle, back to you. All right.
Okay. Okay, we're gonna just run through our numbers because everybody likes numbers, right? Yeah. Fun times. All right, can you still see me? Yes. All right, where do we stand? Right now, our email list has 362 members, yay. Our Facebook has 236. So over the summer, since our parade where we handed out all kinds of cards and everything, we got a nice bump over the summer. So that was really cool. And we continue to see people add on to both lists. Now, I wouldn't say that we have over 500. A lot of these people are duplicates. So I would say we have around 450 members, which is great. Our active members are around 203, and we're defining active as people who have attended at least one event. And our average event per member is 2.8. So people, that's about 3 events per member, active member. So if you were with us in the spring, you heard me talk about the technology that Indivisible has. We got that. One of the cool things is a program that allows us to track all of this. We spent, with my trusty assistant, Sheila, a lot of time over the summer putting all of our data into the program, and that's what allows us to now start tracking this information. And you ask, why would we want to know this information? Is this important? Well, why do we care? This information will help us decide what events we're going to program. What events do we put out there? Who's coming to our events? Do people like them? Are they bringing people to us? Are people engaging? We want to grow our active membership. and we want to build our community. And why do we want to build our community? Because we want to get to 3.5%. And if you guys have been here before, you've heard me talk about this 3.5%. So who's familiar with the 3.5%? Who's not familiar with the 3.5%? Okay, 3.5%, there's research out there that says if you can get the population of a nation, if you can get 3.5% of that population to support and engage in fighting back against an authoritarian and their and fighting back against that authoritarian regime, then you have a good chance of overturning that government. And there's research from Harvard that has shown this. It's by a woman named Erica Chenoweth, and she's been on with the Indivisible folks a couple times talking about it, and they still believe it's possible. And if you look, No Kings won, which was on June 14th, there was 5 million people in the streets. So we got a ways to go. 3.5 million, and our population is about 11.5 to 12 million people. It's not a one-day event, it's a sustained event. That's why we want more people to join us. We want more people to come to us, and we want to plan events where people want to be part of them. These big rallies, they're great. They're like advertisement. They're like, see, this is what we're doing. Come join us. But we need people to come and do sustained activities like the postcarding, like the Signs for Solidarity, like 1 Million Rising, all of the other things. So that's what our goal is. Yes, Krista.
In case anybody else is wondering, do we know how they're coming to the counts? Is this
Yes.
from people signing up through?
They have a couple different ways of signing, of determining. First of all, they know that a lot of people will not sign up, and that's okay. They understand that people are afraid. They don't want to put their name on a list. So they have, they use estimates. I think so far this year, it's been like a 1 to 3. So for every one person that signs up, 3 people show up. So they use that kind of estimate. They also, they use the estimate of who signs up, who reports that they attended. They use the crowd estimate sizes that the people who are running the event give them. And then, you know, obviously the report backs from the people who, you know, do the aerial views and stuff like that. So they have like 3 or 4 different ways, and they triangulate the crowd size. So that is our goal. That is why the numbers are important, and we want to try to increase our overall membership. Okay, so that brings us to No Kings 2, which is our next big event. This is October 18th. Did I just steal this from somebody? This is Michelle's. Michelle, you should be talking. You're the rah-rah person. Come on. Yeah.
Okay, so everybody, on October 18th, we'll have the next big rally. I mean, it's really big. You guys have been great showing up in Barrington. We love you. We appreciate you. But we want to be with a bigger group this time. And if you've ever been to a rally in Arlington Heights, you know how fun it is. So I highly encourage you to join us. And we need safety marshals. Safety marshal is just the people that kind of, if people go wandering into the street, we say, no, don't do that. We want to be good citizens. If they're sitting on private property, we say, come on over. We watch for potential concerns so that maybe we might want to get the police involved if someone, you know, was looking like they were going to shoot or something. You know, that can happen, unfortunately. And we saw that just a week ago. So we have Also, we have poster party on Sunday, the 12th. It's fun. You get to make a poster that you can carry. And I know we have some good senses of humors out there. I don't know if I said that correctly. Jerry's probably going to send me a note. And that says, Michelle, that was grammatically incorrect. That's okay. We want you to make a poster. Think of something fun, funny that you
We're-
can carry.
We're also gonna try to add in buttons and
Yes.
bracelets to make it a really fun event. I just
Yeah.
didn't get that far. This one.
Yeah, we'll be like, not like the artist that I will not name, but we can trade our bracelets and just show how fun and positive we are. So lots of positive stuff to come on. So please sign up to be a marshal. The training is about 30 minutes. We go through some safety things. We love you. We need you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. Okay, Jerry, you're up. Committees. You want to give us a real quick overview of the committees?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
All right.
I just steal that from.
So there are a number of committees that we have. I mentioned the Legislative Candidate Committee. I'm chairing that. If you're interested in that, come see me after the in the next session. What we're trying to do is articulate a set of policies that we believe we stand for, ideas, values, goals, legislative goals that we stand for, and make sure that it's clear, and then we communicate that, and then we use that as a way to vet candidates for office, and also to help direct our political activities. Our goal is to hopefully use it to get better candidates elected. Membership outreach, that's Michelle there. Clearly, we want to, as both Michelles have said, we want to grow our membership and make it an increase activity and engagement among the people that like you all that show up, and then reach out to other groups, other Indivisible groups, other community groups to help magnify our influence. Impact, that's ways that we can in many ways increase the influence of the group and also help other organizations that are like-minded and also trying to develop our communities. And social media, we need to use social media in a smart way, and because that's the way people communicate today, more so through social media than mainstream media. So we need to get really good at it, and we need to increase our reach through it. So that committee is going to be working on that. I think that's it. So if any of those things sound interesting to you, we'll be around to talk to you about it, and we welcome your help and involvement. All right. All right.
Krista, would you like to talk about finance?
Okay, fun stuff.
Do you have this one?
You don't have to, you can click through them all if you want.
Okay. So since we started, which was just, I mean, the neighbors started getting together in February. We had our first meeting, I think, in March, and didn't really start doing any kind of fundraising until April. So since April, we've raised $5,400, which is amazing. We've spent so far almost $3,000, but we've received $1,000 in grants from Indivisible. So one of those was a fundraising match where they matched our fundraising up to $500 if we raised $500, which we did through our t-shirt sale. It's not really a sale, can't call it that, but if you made a donation and received a t-shirt, that fundraiser was really successful. And if there's anyone here who ordered a t-shirt that hasn't picked it up yet, please see me. Funds on hand, right now we have almost $2,500. Our main expenses so far, the big one was the t-shirts. The t-shirts cost about $20 and the donation ask was $40. Then it's been room rental. That was for the Onion Pub for one of our last, is that our June meeting? And then printing the, postcards, the little business cards, if anyone has seen those that we've passed out, the information that we're passing out around town. So going forward, we do have an accountant in our group who has graciously volunteered to help us create a budget, and we'll be able to do a little bit more robust reporting going forward because she'll be able to set that up for us. But now that we have, some time under our belt, we know kind of what things cost, what we want to use, what we have coming up, we'll be able to put a better budget together, and then we'll know what kind of funds we need to ask for. So. T-shirts. Okay. Any questions? Okay.
And we do have more t-shirts available. So if anybody wants one, we'll put a note on in the next email. Or you can talk to Krista or I. So. All right. One quick thing before we introduce John. We passed out a sheet with some volunteer opportunities. If there isn't anything in the committees that you like, we came up with a whole list of other volunteer opportunities that perhaps you would like to do. So take a look at those. Those are just things, potential opportunities that you might consider. Those are just things that we've seen other people do, other Indivisible groups do. So take a look at them. If you want to talk about them, let me know. We can help you get set up. All right, now, John, please come talk to us. And let me do a proper introduction for you.
Don't worry about it.
Oh.
I got it covered. It's
All right.
okay. Thank you.
And here.
And here's the pointer.
Yep. This is this.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I see that. I just want to be sure that this works for me here. Okay, great. And I can go, oh, terrific. We're in great shape.
There you go.
Okay, good evening, everybody. How are we doing today? Anybody heard me speak before? Fantastic. I got a whole new group of people. Excellent. My name's John Bartman. I'm a 5th generation farmer from Marengo. My family's been farming in Illinois since 1846. We actually settled about 5 miles south of here on Milwaukee Avenue, which you call it Wheeling today. So very familiar with the area. So I know a little bit of what we're talking about with agriculture. And making a long story short, I was a kid. I grew up in the farm crisis. I was told that I couldn't farm. Many of you probably saw that Farm Aid was over the weekend. And it's been 40 years. And not a lot has changed. We've had some good times, but we're falling back again. And I'm really concerned about that. And I really want to tell you how important it is, because this is also affecting your life as well. Okay. So the first thing here, we got some slides that I'm going to kind of flip through here to be sure we've got them all. Let's see. Oh, no. Good morning. Okay. All right. Let's just go back to, let's talk about soybeans. Okay. Everybody wants to know what's happening with soybeans. Why do we care about soybeans? That's this big deal that's going on today. If you look at this chart, this is a chart of the amount of purchases that China has made and that they've imported since the 1990s. And if you could see the light blue is the rest of the world, which basically is South America. That's Brazil and Argentina. And the below that purple is the United States portion, okay? And so if you look at it, you can see just the amazing amount of purchasing that they buy. Why does that matter? That means because their middle class is growing. And you have a poor society and you come to the middle class, what's the one thing you want? Chinese people want to be like us. They want to be Americans. They want to be able to go to the grocery store. They want to buy protein. The number one protein that the Chinese buy overwhelmingly is pork and chicken. In order to feed pork and chicken, you have to have soybeans. So that's why soybean meal comes into play. And Illinois is the number one producer of soybeans. We've been that way for a long time. And by the way, soybeans are not native. They're an immigrant too. 100 years ago, nobody was growing soybeans in the United States. That was brought over in the 1940s, kind of came to the way through the 50s and the 60s. So that came from Asia. So that's where the soybean comes from today. So if you look at this, and if we can see if I can slide myself out of here a little bit. Anyhow, let's see if I can get to it. I really trying to concentrate here, which is 2024. And below this, thank you, Michelle, very much. I'm not a Mac person, so forgive me. Below this, you can see we're at 19.9 million, 14.4 in 2018. Does anybody remember what happened then? That was President Trump's first administration, and everything went to hell then. And so while we're at last 2023, we're at 24.7 billion. Right now, anybody know what today? How many soybeans the Chinese have bought so far this year? Zero. That's correct. None whatsoever. So where are they getting them from? They're all coming from South America, right? So why do we care about South America? What does that matter? I'm in Barrington, Illinois. I could care less about what's going on with these farmers, right? Well, unfortunately, that's coming at the expense of the Amazon rainforest. There's over 20 million acres of the Amazon that has been destroyed because of the fact that China has been investing there and they don't want to deal with the United States. So that's what's coming into play here. Let's see. Thank you.
It's me.
Last time Trump came into office, all those charities we used, we didn't make money, all those charities we used for subsidies.
Yeah, we all know that's a joke. It's all a joke, the tariffs. Nobody's getting rich off of them. I want to show you, this is a chart of the USDA, the United States Department of Agriculture, where they spend their money on. 3/4 of the money is to the SNAP program, which is being reduced, which is an absolutely terrible, unfortunate thing. But you can see that conservation programs are a real small percentage. It's less than 6% of the budget is for conservation programs. And we were talking about conservation today, why that matters. I'm a regenerative farmer. Okay. A regenerative farmer is somebody that cares about the soil, that we farm with nature. I farm about 900 acres. Some of you may say that sounds like a lot. Some of you may say that doesn't sound like very much at all. Unfortunately, that's kind of what we need to try to break even, is roughly at that amount. It's about 900 acres. And I want to show you this simple math here, this wonderful chart from NASA. And why this is important is the amount of carbon that gets put in the atmosphere during the course of the year. But first, we're going to take a step back to third grade. It's third grade science. Okay. So what do humans breathe? Oxygen. And we exhale carbon dioxide, right? What do plants breathe? Carbon dioxide, and they exhale what? Oxygen. Okay. So, Michelle, I'm going to hit play here. Hopefully this will work. Okay. Hopefully you can hear this, but this is a 1 year of NASA of the amount of CO2. Basically, red is bad and green is blue. Green is good. So if you look at the date on the bottom of the screen, we're in February right now.
Carbon dioxide is the most important greenhouse gas affected by human activity. About half of the carbon dioxide emitted from fossil fuel combustion remains in the atmosphere, while the other half is absorbed by natural land and ocean reservoirs.
So we're in March.
We see the highest concentrations are focused around major emission sources over North America, Europe, and Asia.
Right, we're all heating our homes right now.
Notice how the gas doesn't stay in one place. The dispersion of carbon dioxide is controlled by the large-scale weather patterns within the global circulation.
Right, so now we're in April.
During spring.
And now we're going into spring. What do you start to see right there?
Let
me hit pause here.
Yeah.
Oh, can
We
you
see
hit,
this change
can you hit
pop
pause for me?
as the red and purple colors start to fade.
See that Midwest? See where the Midwest is? You see the green there? What's going on in the green time? We're in June now. What's going on in June? Plants are growing, right? Oh, there's farmers are planting 30,000 corn plants per acre. They're planting 144,000 soybean plants per acre. They're sucking the CO2 out of the atmosphere and they're putting it into the soil where it belongs. And we're releasing oxygen into the air. So there's the plane. Hopefully that's it. Thank you. But wasn't Mother Nature cool?
Meanwhile, in the southern hemisphere, we see the release of another pollutant, carbon monoxide. This is a gas that's both harmful to the environment and to humans. During the summer months, plumes of carbon monoxide stream from fires in Africa, South America, and Australia, contributing to high concentrations in the atmosphere. Notice how these emissions are also transported by winds to other parts of the world.
Right? Look at the end of August. Isn't that amazing? It's all blue. It's all blue.
As summer transitions to fall and plant photosynthesis decreases, carbon dioxide begins to accumulate in the atmosphere. Although this change is expected, we're seeing higher concentrations of carbon dioxide accumulate in the atmosphere each year. This is contributing to the long-term trend of rising global temperatures.
Now here we are in October, and what's happening? We're heating our homes, everything else.
The Orbit Carbon Observatory 2, or OCO2, will be the first NASA satellite mission.
But what I care about, as it's important to this conversation, is now that those crops we're harvesting right now, correct? We're harvesting those soybeans, we're harvesting that corn, okay? What the conservation effort is as a regenerative farmer, we grow things called cover crops. And cover crops are crops that enhance the soil, but they also grow at times of the year where the cash crop isn't growing. So the goal is that we want to keep a living root in the soil at all times, okay? And one thing that the Biden administration did really well was called the Climate Smart Initiative. And the Climate Smart Initiative paid farmers, actually they paid the end user. And when I mean the end user, that means the processors, that means the ethanol plants. And also for people that want to buy sustainable products, you want to buy sustainable food, regenerative food, to have that label on it, that they would give farmers like me a bonus for doing that work, okay? And in order to get this done, because growing cover crops, it costs money, right? And I'm going to tell you, it was about between $20 and $50 an acre. Does that sound like a lot of money? It really isn't at the grand scheme of things of what's talking about with the planet, right? Well, guess what the Trump administration did? They cut the hell out of it. A few farmers moaned and complained. I did. And now a week ago, they just decided, the Trump administration, you know what? We told you guys that you could have this program, but we don't like the paperwork aspect of it. That's the Biden administration did. So we're just going to roll that money into next year for you. Okay. So in the meantime, farmers like me have gone to their banker, got their operating loans approved, figured that, hey, we're going to use this money now to grow cover crops to offset this. By the way, my grain's going to be worth a little bit more now, and I can weather this storm. And that's not here anymore because of what they're doing. And so this is a major disaster for us in the farm economy. And it's also a disaster for the environment, right? So let's see what we've got here for the next one. So just real quick, as we talked about with Farm Aid was last week, I was very honored and privileged to be asked to do a little video for them talking about this in the spring. So of how this works. This is one of the farms that I rent. This is next to our home farm that my family's been farming for 60 years. And this was done in the springtime. This is a cover crop of cereal rye. Make a long story short, I've got corn there now that I'm getting ready to harvest in a few weeks. But just a quick 1-minute video here that will hopefully make sense. Farmer, Barrington, Illinois, and I'm standing in one of my cover crop fields today, and I just want to explain to you the virtues of cover cropping and how important they are for saving our environment. So we're going to go back to 3rd grade, and I'm just going to remind people that humans breathe in oxygen, and we exhale carbon dioxide. What do plants do? They breathe in carbon dioxide and give off oxygen. We have a problem right now, and that there's too much CO2, too much carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. How do we rectify that? Very simple. We use more planting. So this is a cover crop of cereal rye. A cover crop is a crop that we grow in between our cash crops that help keep soil in place. It allows nutrients to stay into the soil, and it protects the environment. So how do plants sequester carbon? Very simple. The leaves of this plant come in, they take sunlight. Through photosynthesis, the plant grows, puts carbon through the roots. These roots secrete carbon, and other insects and microorganisms eat that carbon and have symbiotic relationship with each other. Benefit to you and me is that we end up with a healthier soil. We end up with a better environment. We're fighting climate change, and with healthier soil equals healthier food equals healthier people. This is the simplest, easiest, most cost-effective method that we have to combat climate change. So now that you understand the science behind cover crops and they're used as a tool to combat climate change, how can you help out thousands of farmers like me who are fighting a good fight? Well, it's easy. All you need to do is contact your member of Congress, your 2 U.S. senators, and the White House. You need to alert them about the importance of these programs, and you need to tell them to take off the USDA payment freeze that funds these programs. We as farmers have been waiting for over 5 months for our payment, and it's not right. We have the expense of doing these programs, and we signed a contract with the USDA and their partners. And it's time for them to fulfill their end of the bargain. It's only right. So anyway, that was what we did there. And I give Farm Bureau I give Farm Aid a lot of credit for pushing that through. So anyhow, so one other point that I'd like to talk about is the USAID program. Anybody familiar with USAID? USAID has been around since JFK, and JFK started in the 60s. It was a way for us to send food and medicine to 3rd world countries as a way of trying to build them up and win allies from the greatest generation who survived World War II, who understood, destroyed Europe and destroyed Japan, and that we rebuilt them, and who are our best friends right now. We've got Germany and we have Japan as our allies, and Korea too. Well, unfortunately, with USAID, we've lost over $2 billion worth of buying power for grain right now. Many of you know the grain prices are at an all-time low. And so when the USAID program came into play, it was a way to buy excess grain so that we wouldn't be in this glut right now. So Mr. America First has gone through and cut one of the biggest programs. And as a consequence, right now, we're already people in Congress saying, we got to bail out the farmers. We got to bail out the farmers. We had that program. It was called the USAID. And with a snap, they could have made it from $2 billion to $5 billion, just like that. And people in Sudan wouldn't be starving right now. So as a consequence, if we look back at our history of what has happened to us, I like the movie Charlie Wilson's War. For those of you may remember that Charlie Wilson was a conservative Democrat in the 1980s who was instrumental in making sure that in Afghanistan, when they were fighting the Soviets, when the Soviet Union came in, that we gave them arms to defend themselves. Okay. Well, this one scene here at the end of this clip that I really enjoy, it's him in a committee hearing with his members of Congress saying, we need to do something for Afghanistan, because if we don't, we're going to pay the consequences. This was in the 1980s. So hopefully this will work out okay. Oh, this is not it. This is the wrong scene. Do you have the internet on here?
Yes.
Okay, could we just real quick, let me find that. Here, can we go on Google real quick? And just do lessons from Charlie Wilson's war. Hopefully that will come in to the screen. Keep scrolling down there. Movie.
Which one?
Yeah, if we go on to YouTube on it.
You want me to go to YouTube?
Or just type right there on YouTube. Okay, scroll down. What was it's just a minute and a half. That first one up there.
This one?
Texan.
This one?
Yeah, let's try that one here.
Okay, I'm gonna have to. Sheila, am I still sharing?
Yeah.
Okay.
In the meantime, while we're looking that up, does anybody have any farming questions? Anybody fill up? This is your opportunity. Yes, go ahead.
Farm bankruptcies
Oh,
are up.
Is this it? I can,
Just go ahead and pause.
Yeah.
This is,
does that look right?
no.
No.
That's fine. I'll send it out to everybody.
Okay.
I prefer questions anyway. It's fine.
Trump's first term, or maybe.
Here, why don't you come back?
Yes, of course.
It looks like it's gonna be worth. And they're talking about either, I hear rumblings about bailout. Or it's like we can either bail out the farmers because of what Trump has done with the tariffs. Or the farmers go bankrupt. Either way, food prices are gonna go up, or it's gonna cost us more. It's ain't that way.
That is a very wise comment. The one thing that I will say is that the price of food, and you raise a very valid point, and let me find this for you. Farmers Union, Farmers Share. It's kind of a misnomer. A lot of people don't realize that for every dollar that you spend at the grocery store, only 15 cents goes back to the farmer. And hopefully this will work here. Yes, perfect. This is my favorite slide of all time. Okay, so I belong to the Farm Bureau. I've been a director there for many years, but I also belong to the Farmers Union. One thing that I really appreciate that the Farmers Union does is every 6 months, they call the Farmers Share. Okay, so we've got a bunch of staple items there. If you look at bacon, and this one is, I just did this one. This is about a year old, but you can see bacon for $5.99 right now, and it's a heck of a lot more than that. It's closer to about $11 in the grocery store right now. The Farmer's Share is is 91 cents. The people at home can see it a lot easier than the people in here, so I'm just gonna say it to you. Top sirloin steak, $9.99. Good luck finding that today, right? Farmer share is under $3. Loaf of bread, $4.49. Boy, this one always gets me upset. I'm getting 14 cents for my wheat, okay? 12 pack of beer, $17 at Liney's, if you like. We're getting 7 cents for that, okay? Cereal, $7.49 for a box at the Jewel, right? I'm getting less, they finally got 10 cents. For the longest time, we were getting a nickel. Milk, $4.39, $1.76. That 2-liter bottle of pop, here it's $1.25. We all know we go to the Jewel, it's at least 2 1/4 now, 6 cents. Okay, so this is important to me that you understand that we as farmers, when we say we're not making much money, we're not. We're not getting the money. It's corporate greed that's getting the money, folks. Okay. Yes, sir.
Other too is that right now, soybean is being harvested, but you don't have a market to sell. So finding places to store all that soybean is another big issue that is costing more money.
That's correct. So if anybody wants a good business to go into, start the beanbag chair phase, because there's going to be a lot of soybeans, especially in North Dakota. They don't have a home for it. So, yeah.
So I have to assume that you are in a minority among your fellow farmers in the way it, from what it's known about the way rural states vote. Do other farmers, are they changing their minds about whether Trump has been good for them or not?
That's a very good point. So what I'm going to tell you is that some of you may or may not know, but I was the Democratic Party chairman in McHenry County when I was 24 years old. I've been involved in this stuff for a very, very long time, and that the messenger matters just as much as the message. And one thing is Donald Trump is exceptionally good at marketing. And whenever you went to a rally in the rural area, what did he do? He tried to put somebody that looks like a farmer behind him all the time. Did anybody call me from the Biden-Harris campaign or no? Okay. We have a problem with white males with this party. People aren't saying that about the building trades. The overwhelming people of the building trades are unions. They unfortunately voted for him too. So we have to realize that as a party that we need to do a better job of talking to males. On the farmer's end, have I gotten some oral arguments? You betcha I have. But I've been getting an oral arguments from my good friend Bridget's here. She and I went to high school together. Haven't seen her for a while, but it's good to see her. But Bridget knows I'm not exactly the shy guy. Okay. I have no problem telling people what the truth is. And I've had a lot of farmers say, we're going to get these agreements. We're going to get these agreements. What the heck do you know, Bartman? What do you know? I'm like, he's full of it. It's not going to happen. Because if you look at the facts of that chart that I show you, it's all coming from Brazil, right? What is trade? Trade is, I like this restaurant up the road. It costs a little more for me to go to this restaurant, but I like the owner there. I like the waitress there. I could get a cheaper meal somewhere else, but I like it there. We're the restaurant that the world doesn't like right now.
But they feel the pain too. How much pain do they need to feel before they actually change?
I think, well, but we also have to give them a damn good candidate too.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's also important. And I say Kamala Harris, God bless her. She didn't have a lot of time to get things right. But you gotta be there. And I've been around enough campaigns to know that a lot of these people, they're coming from the DC area and they think, oh, well, we've got farmers, Yeah, I shop at Whole Foods. Yeah, I know farming. Farming's cool. Yeah, it's great. I'm like, you don't have a freaking clue. You don't have a clue of what we do. And so, yes, and there's been a lot of good Democrats who have lost over the years who are kind of conservative, moderates who got lost, But I do think the farm bill, we don't have a farm bill either. And by the way, if I'm running late on time, shut me off because I love talking about this stuff. Yes. No, the gentleman in the back.
that, I've been reading that a lot of farmers that are farming, well, they farming the land, but it's owned by corporations now. There's a large number of farmers. How is that in playing in this?
My-
No one wants to sway you.
Well, I mean, if you want to be fair, like I have John Bartman Farms LLC, right? Why am I an LLC? Because I farm in McHenry County, I farm in the suburbs. And if I'm going down the road driving a tractor at 15 miles an hour down 176 and somebody slams into me, guess what? Some good attorney is going to sue me and they're going to take me for all that I'm worth. Okay. So we're business people. We understand that. So an LLC doesn't so much bother me. What does bother me are the real estate investment trusts. I know there's one that's really good who's trying to buy farmland and put farmers in, but overwhelmingly, real estate investment trusts scare the hell out of me. They should be investing in the South Side. They should be investing in communities that need some help, building a shopping mall in areas that need it. You don't need to be trying to buy group up farmland because you're worried about the inflation rate going through the roof and you want to hedge against inflation. Because what ends up happening in those situations is you get land managers that come in and the land that had been farmed, like that farm in my video, my family's been rented it for 60 years. The farmer who was there retired. My dad and I basically took care of this man for about last 20 years of his life. That's a very typical situation that would happen in rural America. But what ends up happening is after 3 or 4 generations of this, the kids are so taken away from the farm. A farm manager comes up and says, hey, just want you to know that your market rate that you're paying right now, that your farmer is, I got a guy, I'll give you twice as much money for that. And so they're like, really? Oh, okay, well, let me do that. So that's why you have some very large operators that hang out with farm managers and then they roll that through. And real estate investment trust, just a simple way, because at the end of the day, they care about their return on their investment. And if they could get the biggest book of business that they can, the biggest list of properties that they can get, then they can get even more money for it. Because instead of taking 500 acres, well, now we got 50,000 acres. And now they can get one farmer that could farm 50,000 acres that should have easily been farmed by minimum 50 families. Yes, sir.
Largest landowner in the country. How much does he support?
I don't know. Honestly, I think Bill Gates is a great humanitarian. If he asked me to rent his land, I suppose I could. Ted Turner was up there too. It does, to me, it's scary. But I think the biggest hurdle that we have is we've got very good people who grew up on farms who've been told for too many generations that they can't go back to it. And that's why I like regenerative agriculture, because the one step that I'm missing is adding livestock to the equation. In a regenerative system, livestock are very important. But as you folks know, how many of you would like to have 15 Angus cows in your backyard? They're great, they're wonderful, but a lot of you would sue me if I brought them out there. But that's McHenry County. Okay, so it's sad, but that's the truth. Or if they got out in your yard at 2 o'clock in the morning. Many people left this area because of the fact that they couldn't farm anymore. It wasn't considered safe for them to farm, that their equipment was too loud. Different communities started noise ordinances saying that you can't farm, you can't run your equipment past 7 o'clock at night. Well, if you're gonna have a hailstorm, you got to get your crop out, otherwise you're going to lose everything like that. So, yeah.
Given what's going on, and there's usually a time period before you see the impact. And we already see the price of food's going up, but I don't think that we have even come close to seeing the true impact. The price of food.
Well, if you want to fight the price of food, the other thing I would tell you is let Kwame Raoul know these facts, our Attorney General. And let them know that's the whole point of their office, is let them know, why are we being taken advantage of? Same thing with gas, right? Oil is what, $50 a barrel? 10 years ago, it was $50 a barrel, it was $1.99 a gallon. Why are we thinking, oh, well, I'm paying $3.54 today. I'm just used to it, right? They have to be held accountable. We have laws for a reason. And we have people in the Attorney General that should be doing their job, but they're not going to do it unless people ask them to investigate. So, anything else? Thank you. Oh, one in the back. Sure, one last. Oh, for locally, number one, be an ally. Number one, thank you for being here. Keep coming to these meetings because this is important. that you're here, that you elect good candidates that do this. Ask your candidates. You have candidates who, there's still agriculture in Lake County. There's still agriculture in Cook County. You know, that matters. Local farming matters, and that you want this to happen. But I do agree that let Kwame Raoul know that this stuff is important. Give them a call. Tell them, why are we being ripped off when the farmers aren't getting this? You know, the farmers aren't getting the money for it.
Could you mention the candidates that are supportive for you and others that aren't? So who would be better to send a letter to? I mean, one letter I know.
I mean, most of the time, we've got some time to go right now. I mean, we're just getting petitions out right now. So, but I mean, the Democratic, I do believe that the Illinois is the reason why we have a farm bill every year. If you don't know what the farm bill is, oh, shoot, let me go back to it. Anyway, if you remember that thing that looked like Pac-Man that we had up there, that 3/4 goes to the SNAP program. Well, that's the farm bill. It's most of the money goes to what's called the food stamp program. The reason why that ends up passing is because Illinois is a farm state, and we have about 3 battleground candidates in Illinois right now who are Democrats who are in there. Bill Foster kind of falls into that from time to time. Lauren Underwood falls into that from time to time. And they push for the farm bill because there are farmers that do vote for them. And they understand the importance of agriculture because Illinois, the #1 industry is agriculture by far and away. 20% of all jobs in Illinois revolve around agriculture. That one thing people don't realize, even though we're 1%, I as a farmer, I'm 1% of the population, 20% of the jobs revolve around agriculture. Yes.
Question. On the farmer share diagram, I think I understand all of the types of food.
Mhm.
On soda, which is 6%, is that for corn syrup?
6 cents.
6 cents.
Yes, it's
Or does the farmer get?
usually that would be it. That would be the one main ingredient that would be involved in traditionally on for soda. And I could talk about the dangers of the increase of sugar because part of the reason why corn syrup took off in the United States was we didn't have enough sugar, right? And all the development that's going on in Florida right now, you're not getting those cane fields back. So where's the sugar going to end up coming from? The sugar is coming from Brazil as well. So let's burn down some more Amazon rainforest so that we can do this. Okay. Pardon? Beet sugar is great, but it's a very small area. It's like Michigan, northern Minnesota. I love beet sugar, and don't get me wrong, we need to have it. But I'm a firm believer that soda pop was supposed to be a treat, and it shouldn't be a 64 ounce every time that you go into the grocery store or you go to McDonald's. You know.
We do have a hard stop at 8 o'clock, so.
Michelle, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm probably outside.
All right, let's see if I can get back to the presentation. All right, we're almost done, so. So we were gonna have, open it up for discussion from you guys, if you had any questions for us before we go into our committee fair. And like I said, we do have to be out of the room at 8, to be cleaned up and out of the room by 8. So does anybody have any questions for us? Yes. Yeah. Hi.
I was wondering if Indivisible has any content that we can share. You know, where would we find original content for social media that kind of has the messages?
There's all kinds of stuff from them on their website. If you go to indivisible.org, if you go to our website, I have cards up here for our website, and I link to their website and things like that. But they have call scripts for their top issues on their website. You can find that kind of stuff up there. The Truth Brigade has
I'm just looking for like simple, I think they're called memes, you know, like just things we can share.
I think that you'll find more of that in the Truth Brigade. And you might want to come to the session on the 30th and you can learn more about that. Or Sue can give you the links to find that. They have lots of good memes with that. Any other questions? Yes.
So the Marshall thing?
Yes.
I'm supposed to go to the thing on the 18th, but I'm taking 2 people who have mobility issues.
Yes.
Do they have special areas or?
But
People who are like unstable on their feet or?
it will, it's at North Park. Have you been there? Okay, it's a nice park. It's grassy. It has some concrete walking areas. I would bring a chair, get there early, set up a chair. You can hold your sign and just sit there. Yeah, but there will be a lot of people, so I would go early and you maybe drop them off close to the area and have them walk in but bring a chair. There's no seating there, so I would expect upwards of, they may march from the park to Northwest Highway, but I don't know. You don't need to. You can just stay in the park and hold your sign. There's going to be a lot of people, so people can do whatever they want. They can sit there and just, chat, hold their signs, chant and sing, and I think it's going to be a fun type of environment. So a lot of times they stand by the street, but with that many people, not everybody's going to be able to stand at the street. Not everybody is going to be able to march. So just being there will be a lot of fun. Other questions? Okay, so your calls to action, sign up for the march, sign up to be a marshal if you can. I didn't get a chance to make the sign up for the sign making party, but you will see that coming out soon. You have the sheets with the other signups of the events coming shortly. Check the websites, check your emails, check Facebook for other signups as events come up. They come up frequently. We have a lot going on. If you are going to protest, so we talked about our protests that we are involved in, that will be in Arlington Heights. There will be protests all around. There will be one downtown. There will be one in DuPage. There will be one in McHenry. It will be all over. Make sure you know your protest rights. Make sure you check them out. I have a link on our website. I try to update them as much as possible. Always check out other sites. There's a large Indivisible site near us called NWSOFA. They have been around for a very long time. They were a group well before Indivisible, and they have turned into an Indivisible group. They do a lot online. They have a lot of educational sessions, and a lot of their stuff is issue-based. So if you have interests in environmental issues or gun control or things like that, things that we haven't been able to start yet, perhaps look into them because they have those types of activities that we haven't started. If you haven't downloaded 5 calls, I recommend doing that, and remind everybody to do your 5 calls. I know even I forget to do my 5 calls. Try to do them once or twice a week. Check mobilize.us if you're looking for things to do, and again, check our website. And now if you guys want, please stick around for the committee fair. I'm going to hand out the signs to our committee chairmen, and they will just stand around and you can come talk to them and ask them questions about their committees.
Michelle, before people leave, if they're gonna leave, or anything, you can grab it and to that guide.
And everybody online, thank you very much for joining us. I hope this was.
Others for all of your help.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I hope this was a good opportunity for you guys too. So thank you.
We get on the email list just by going on to Indivisible.
Yes, if you go on to, if you go onto our website, there's a join me on the top. You can do that. Listen, it's nice to meet you.
Yeah, you know, we were both supposed to do the thing with Marty McGrath, legislative interview. And I did submit them, never responded.
Well, that's Marty.
Yeah, not.
Choose just stay where they
Not
are.
very helpful.
Yeah, no, just leave the chairs. Let me,
This was great, so thank you.
let me close this off and